Hey everyone, and welcome to this analysis of the supermoon moon in Taurus that happens on the 16th of May 2026. So yeah, I'm Imani, your holistic karmic astrological life coach, and I'm going to take you on this journey. So May is an exciting month because on May the 1st we had the first full moon of the month, and then we're going to have the second one, the blue rare flower moon, which is going to happen on the 31st. So I'll see you on that audio, but right here we're talking about the super new moon in Taurus, right? And I believe that the full moon actually is going to be in Taurus again, but the late degrees of Taurus, but don't quote me on that. I think it may be a moon in June that's going to be in Taurus as well. But anyway, let's just stick to this one. So the theme is the fire that knows what it's worth, right? So the thing about this super new moon in Taurus is that it's not asking you to change, it's asking you to land, to revive, to recognize what you already are and let that be enough. 4 planets are stacked in Taurus at the time of this super new moon. In Taurus, we've got the moon, the sun, Mercury and Uranus, all in the Krittika, Nakshatra. The fire that purifies is the theme of that Nakshatra, but as you know, I'm going to go deep into the Sabians and Nakshatras and Pradas later. But all at the moment, the full moon reaches perigee, which is the closest point to the earth. It's a super moon. All these 4 are in Taurus, so this isn't subtle, fits earth energy, this is blatant. You're going to feel this in your body, your worth, your material reality. It's all demanding, intense, and right, the moon, our emotions, the sun, our identity, Mercury, our, communication, and Uranus are sort of like individuality, right? So for some of you, your value intellectually, but you don't feel it. Maybe you can articulate, speak clearly about your worth in a job interview, negotiate a contract, explain why you deserve better. But, when you're alone, the knowing evaporates and disappears, and this super moon lands in your body, not your mind. The semi-square, the 45-degree friction to Saturn that the moon's making, says the lesson arrived exactly at the beginning. Whatever you're starting now starts with full awareness of its cost, and that's not a problem. That's integrity, wholeness and honesty, right? So you have to tap into that and think about what you want to start in terms of yourself, acknowledgement of your skills, right? And start it, plan it and do it. Or maybe you've been dissolving old structures, routines, doing the deep composting work, letting go work, and you're ready for something more solid again. Taurus is solid, right? Earth energy, and the super moon intensification of the moon, Mercury, the sun and Uranus being here is, preparing us for physical action, practical action, right? So we can feel it in our bodies, as I said, as the settling are coming to ground, let it happen. For some of you, maybe security feels like a luxury you can't afford, You've been living at the edge of financial or material security long enough that stability feels like someone else's privilege. The conjunction, the planets meeting with Uranus means the revolution isn't about leaving security behind. It's about redefining what security actually means to you. Not the inherited version, not the culturally approved version, your version, earned, built, real. Or, you've been waiting for permission to want what you want, comfort, beauty, security, pleasure, the straightforward goodness of a life that feels genuinely good to be inside, and Taurus is that permission. The semi-sextile 30-degree angle, gentle opportunity to Venus is applying. So, something beautiful is approaching rather than you requiring to chase it. So stop chasing it, let it arrive, be open to accepting the energy, right? And if rest feels impossible right now, maybe you've been finding it hard to genuinely rest, not just, cease activity, stop it, but actually you may stop doing everything and, sit down or whatever, but you still can't rest, right? But this, energy is helping us not to just actually, be anxious. We land in our body with the electric hum of anxiety running underneath. This energy is allowing us to actually rest, right? However, the opposition, which is the 180 tension aspect to the ascendant, right, in Scorpio, means the tension between inner experience and outer presentation, how we present ourselves to the world, has peaked. So, it's going to relax and allow us to rest a bit more. And the trine, which is 120 degrees flow to the midhaven, our career point, means what we begin now has a natural pathway towards our purpose, So don't worry, I'm going to go deep into, what's aspecting what in a minute. For some of you, maybe you're just simply aware of a deep, quiet readiness. Something in you has turned a corner. You didn't consciously navigate, and now there's just the readiness to begin what's actually yours, right? And the stellium in Krittika, the fire deity Agni, says burn away what's not genuinely real for you. Keep what's real. The fire knows the difference, so allowing the fire, the endings, to cleanse us, right? And the water of Scorpio in this, which is, the opposite axis of Taurus energy, to let us go through the emotions, right? So now I'm going to give you all the sensitive info, the dates, the degrees, and what's happening at the time of this super new moon in Taurus. So as I said, it happens at 9:01 GMT time on the 16th of May in the second degree of Taurus, right? And remember, I do Vedic sidereal astrology, right? So I think the moon may be in Gemini, maybe, or it may be late Taurus, but anyway, in Western astrology. So anyway, so it's a super moon, and this means the moon's at perigee, which is closest to the Earth, and this is approximately 30% physical intensification, and the Nakshatra is Krittika, part of 2, and then the Vasa is Capricorn and Saturn, right? So it's happening at 9:01 p.m. GMT time, which is 1:01 p.m. Pacific time, 2:01 p.m. Mountain time, 3:01 p.m. on the 16th of May as well. Eastern time, Central European time is 10:01 p.m. and Indian time on the 17th of May at 1:31 a.m. and the 17th of May in Australia at 6:01 a.m. as well. So the Sabian symbols involved in this super new moon in Taurus, we have the moon and the sun at the second degree of Taurus, and this has the Sabian symbology at electrical storm and rules the palate in the human body. And then we've got Mercury at the 5th degree of Taurus, which has the Sabian symbology, a window at an open grave, and this rules the throat, the pharyngeal cavity in the throat. And then we got Uranus in the 7th degree of Taurus, and this has the Sabian symbology, a woman of Samara comes to draw water from the well, and this rules the vocal cords in the human body. And then we've got Saturn at the 17th degree of Pisces, and this has the Sabian symbol at Easter Promenade, and this rules the circular ligaments of the left foot in the human body. And we have a T-square between the ascendant in Scorpio, the North Node in Aquarius, and Uranus in Taurus at 14 degrees, and a 4-point stellium between the Moon, Sun, Mercury, Uranus, all in Taurus at 27%, right? So the aspects that are happening, the Moon's making a conjunction to Mercury at 2:43 applying, and this is when our mind and feeling find common ground. And then we've got the Sun's conjunction to Mercury at 2:43 separating, and this allows our sense of self, our identity and thought, moving into clarity. We can think clearly about, our thoughts, our mind and our identity, our self-expression can work in simultaneously at the same time. So we can basically say what we mean and mean what we say and follow through. The Moon makes a semi-sextile to Venus, and this allows for something beautiful to come unhurried, just us relaxing into it. The Moon's also making a semi-square to Saturn, and this reminds us that structure and routine is arriving at the very moment of beginning, helping us to start new things and be disciplined. The Sun makes a semi-square to Saturn, so Saturn's lessons landed exactly here right now, and we can be opening up to the need for routines and the discipline to reach our goals. The Moon's also making a conjunction to Uranus, so is the Sun. both at 5.13 applying, so this allows us to have a revolution in the way that we value our beliefs and our sense of self, especially our body. You know, we're falling in love with our body image, even if it's not how we want it to be right now, just accepting ourselves. And the Sun's conjunction to Uranus brings disruption into our identity, wanting us to be more authentic in our self-expression and love. The Moon also makes an opposition to the Ascendant, so, you know, just reminding us that the inner and outer tension has passed its peak here, so it's allowing us to fall more into ourselves. So is the Sun's opposition to the Ascendant, again allowing our presentation and identity to settle into alignment. And the Moon and the Sun's trine to the midheaven at 148 applying gives us purpose and a feeling flowing towards you know, each of us, so allowing our purpose and feeling, actions and our emotions to work together and be more sort of like able to work towards, to express ourselves in our careers, right? So that's the summary version of the aspects. I am going to go deeper into, you know, deeper interpretation. Now I'm going to talk about the heart of the Moon in Taurus. Then I'm going to give guidance for all 12 Sun, Moon and rising signs as well. Okay, so the new moon in Taurus, the heart of it. So as I said, Taurus is the first earth sign, and everything that phase contains is relative here. So this is about beginnings in the material world, you know. Second, earth means embodied, you know, being in the body and being tangible, touchable, real, practical and built to last, and it's a fixed earth sign. So Taurus doesn't do temporary, it doesn't do provisional, you know, temporary just for now, it builds for keeps, right? A new moon in Taurus is always an invitation to revive in your body and your life with genuineness, to start performing the revival and actually land, to let your worth be felt rather than argued, to build something real rather than manage, the appearance of having something built, you know, and, you know, the appearance of built-in something, you know. Gemini energy can be superficial, performance based, but no, earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus want to actually build it right in general. So this particular new moon carries the Uranus and Taurus energy in the stellium with Mercury, the moon, the sun there, right? So this is an invitation to revive. It's also an invitation to disrupt what revival has meant to be now, to disrupt what being practical and having status and being stable meant to you. Uranus in Taurus doesn't destroy security, it liberates you, frees you from false security, so actual security can be built, right? And the supermoon intensification of all this energy means the body is the primary instrument, so it's about being embodied, right, and thinking about the practical earth actions, you know, practical beliefs, looking after the body, all of that. And whatever is changing for you, it shifts, it changes through physical sensation, action first. You feel it before you understand it. And the Terra stellium is the heart of the chart. 4 planets in the same sign at new moon create concentrated focus, single pointed initiation, beginning, starting energy. So the question is, what are you willing to commit to once you have gone there? Taurus force commitment at the most basic level, the willingness to stay, to tend, to look after, to be present in the same place long enough for something actually to grow. And the semi-square to Saturn, 0.07 separating, is the detail that stops you in your tracks. This means Saturn's friction arrived at virtually the exact moment of the new moon itself, within minutes. Saturn in Pisces, semi-square the new moon in Taurus, says this beginning is not free of cost, right? Something real is being asked of you in the area, the realm of structure, routine, discipline, accountability and long-term commitment. And, you know, the orb tightness at 0.7 is essentially exact, right? And this is not background energy, this is what this is telling you, the Uranus there, right? It's front and center. And the trine from the moon and the sun to the midheaven applying at 1.48 is the gift gift that the Saturn friction is earning. A trine to the midhaven means what you begin now has a natural flowing channel towards your life purpose and public contribution, right? What you commit to in the next 14 days has genuine vocational, career calling resonance, right? And Taurus's patience plus Uranus disruption plus the midhaven trine energy equals a revolution in what you are known for, arriving through deliberate, sustained, long-term effort rather than a dramatic gesture. So it's all about the day-to-day routines, which will help me hear me say a lot, the day-to-day actions we can take to make our goals a reality, right? So now I'm just going to give guidance for all 12 signs. So we've got Aries. This is activating your second house, reminding you that money isn't the problem. Your relationship with money and what you deserve is. The lightning wants to strike your bank account, let it. Charge what you're worth, ground your fire, and for Taurus, your first house is being activated. So 4 planets in your sign, your body, your worth, your revolution. You can't escape this month. Start performing stability. Be the actual storm, right? It wants you to rebuild from the lightning, rebuild from the chaos, right? Gemini, your 12th house is being activated, so the unconscious speaks louder than your clever explanations right now. It's reminding you to rest, and rest isn't failure. Dreams carry data. Let go of the narrative, the stories you tell yourself, right? The superficialness, the performance, and trust what you can't, articulate yet, just go with the flow a bit. So for Cancer, your 11th house is being activated, so your people are evolving and changing. So is your definition of what belonging means. Remember that community isn't static, neither are you. Find humans who can hold the disrupted version of you, right? Leave the coziness behind. So for Leo, your 10th house is being activated, so it's reminding you that career isn't a performance anymore, it's a calling. What you are known for is changing, shifting. Let your public reputation catch up with who you actually are becoming, and practice being authoritative without ego, right? So for Virgo, your 9th house is being activated, so remember, perfect doesn't exist. Travel anyway, teach anyway, expand and grow anyway. Your beliefs are being struck by lightning for a reason. Question everything. The adventure starts when certainty ends. Go. Libra, your 8th house is being activated, so merge without disappearing. Share resources without martyring yourself. The transformation asks for honesty, not for harmony. Let relationships be uncomfortable. Remember, it's depth over diplomacy, and that you will survive the intensity. For Scorpio, your 7th house is being activated, so remember that partnership is the mirror, not the solution. What you're seeing in them lives in you. The lightning strikes twice, once in you, once in relationship. Face your reflection honestly. For Sagittarius, your 6th house is being activated, so health is boring until it isn't. Daily life is spiritual practice. Your body's been trying to tell you something. Start philosophizing, start implementing, starting. Routine is revolution for you right now. For Capricorn, your 5th house is being activated. Create something useless. Play without purpose. Your heart wants joy, not achievement. Date for fun, not for marriage. Let yourself be delighted by something that earns you nothing. That's the work for you under this super new moon in Taurus, which goes against your energy, being an earth sign. But Aquarius, your 4th house is being activated, so home isn't where you left it. Ancestral generational patterns want healing, not analysis. Paint the walls, Aquarius. Rearrange the furniture. Let your living space reflect who you have become. Literally, move something, do something. Pisces, your 3rd house has been activated, so say what you mean what you say. Mystical doesn't equal vague. Your voice carries weight when you stop making it float. The local community needs your grounded presence. Speak clearly and stay, Stay, go through it, follow through it, stand your ground, stand up for yourself. Let your voice be your weapon in a good way right now, Pisces. So now I'm just going to talk about the Vedic layer, right? So as I said, the Sun and the Moon are in Krittika, Nakshatra, Pada 2, so it's the blade that purifies. So Krittika, Nakshatra spans 2 signs, Aries and Taurus, bridging the fire, which is Aries energy, and the earth energy of Taurus. The deity is Imani, the god of fire, purification and transformation, as I said. And then the Shakti, the power is to burn away impurities, to cut through illusions and see truth, right? The truth of our reality. The symbol of this Nakshatra is razor, flame, axe, instruments of sharp focus, and the nature is Tiksana, sharp, fierce, for cutting, surgery, separation. And the ruling planet is the sun, okay, which is not to be confused with the Navasa ruler, which is Capricorn, Saturn energy. So the core teaching is purification through fire, and Agni doesn't destroy, he purifies. Fire burns away what's dead, what's rotten, what's no longer needed. But fire in Taurus, the earth sign, is a controlled burn, strategic cutting, deliberate pruning. This isn't wild destruction, this is the gardener's blade, choosing exactly what must go so the rest can thrive. Krittika Shakti is the Hana Shakti, the power to burn away. But in the Taurus portion of this Nakshatra, that burning has a material, practical purpose, right? You're not burning bridges for the drama, for the chaos, for the likes, You're burning deadwood, the old toxicity, whether it's thoughts, relationships, whatever. So new growth has space and nutrients to grow, to flourish, to bloom. The razor as symbol, sharp, clean cuts, no tearing, no hesitation, reminding you that precision matters. So when you cut with Krittika energy, you cut surgically, removing exactly what needs removing, leaving healthy tissue intact. So it's in Pada 2, which is the Capricorn Navasa, the Saturn energy, building through burning. And this is where the interpretation changed completely. Pada 2, falls in the Capricorn and Vasa, ruled by Saturn. So this is not a soft Taurus abundance. This is Saturn's display meeting Agni's fire. This is earned manifestation. This is material success through sustained long-term day-to-day effort. Booty is built on foundations that took years to lay. The Capricorn and Vasa asks, what are you building that will outlast you? What structures are you creating that can bear actual weight? Saturn doesn't do shortcuts. Saturn doesn't do easy. Saturn asks, are you willing to put in the work even when no one's watching? The soul level invitation is that, you must set new moon intentions that have structural integrity, not wishes, not vague dreams, actual plans with timelines, resources and accountability. Saturn in the Navasa says, if you're not willing to build it, step by step, you don't actually want it. Agni's fire in Krittika provides the cutting, what must go. Saturn in Capricorn, Navasa provides the building, what replaces it, what must be built. So this new moon asks, what are you burning away to make space for? What are you actually willing to construct, to build, right? And the supermoon intensification, even though I'm going to talk a bit more about this in a while, it's 30% physical intensification. So supermoons typically happen at the time of a full or new moon, and with the lunar perigee, the moon's closest approach to the earth, and the physical gravitational pull increases approximately 30%. So astrologically, this means physical manifestation can be accelerated, so perfect for Taurus, Capricorn, practical material work, so things to do with money, savings, values, practical building, gardening, all of that, enterprising, networking, with the Capricorn energy there. It also can result in changes in the body and body level changes, not just emotional but cellular. Increased magnetic pull, what you plant now has stronger roots, and urgency without chaos. The Taurus Capricorn energy doesn't rush but progress momentum builds. The supermoon in early Krittika part 2, the Capricorn and Vata says plant what you're willing to look after to tend for years. The gravitational pull will help it root deeply, but Saturn demands you show up for the watering, the weeding, the patient labour of growth, right? So it's also a reminder to build what you won't build. The super moon, new moon sits at the 2nd degree of Taurus in the Krittika part 2, so 2, 2nd degree part 2, and Agni's purifying fire meeting Saturn's discipline structure. The combination is precise. Step 1, the Agni Krittika energy saying cut away what's draining your resources. So things that are wasting your time, your money, your space, your energy, relationships, toxic thoughts, addictive habits, obviously get help. Call the Samaritans if you're in the UK, if you're feeling down, anxious, depressed, whatever. If you've got any other addictions, reach out to those that can help you. If you're in a conversive relationship, slowly make a plan and reach out to the people that can help you. It's about, swift cutting, yes, but strategic cutting. Taurus, like slow, right, and planning out the exit, right, which is very important, especially if you're in, you have addictive behaviours, slowly giving them up, or in a coercive or abusive relationship, getting away safely, right? So step 2, the Saturn, Capricorn and Vata is asking you to build something lasting with what remains. And step 3, the supermoon amplification is to, plant the roots so deeply, cut away the dead wood, make the changes so deeply that it survives the storm. So building up your emotional, psychological and spiritual resilience, your physical resilience, taking the time, step by step. It's reminding you that maybe you've been holding on to things, relationships, projects, beliefs, identities that require constant maintenance but provide no harvest. They're not giving anything back, so maybe you need to let go of them. Angie asks, why are you watering dead plants? The razor doesn't judge, it just cuts clean. But here's where Saturn in Capricorn and Vata becomes crucial. You don't burn things down just to burn them down. You prune strategically so resources flow to what you are actually committed to building. The Taurus portion of Krittika understands material reality, practical reality, that you have finite time, time does run out, finite energy, finite resources, whether it be money, whatever. So every hour spent maintaining something that doesn't serve your actual growth is an hour stolen from what could serve your growth. So what this new moon demands is identifying the dead wood. It asks, what are you maintaining out of guilt, habit or fear, rather than genuine commitment? Krittika's blade can't cut what you won't acknowledge needs cutting, right? Number 2, make the cut clean. No dramatic announcements, no burning bridges with ceremony, just quiet, surgical removal. Agni purifies, he doesn't perform. Number 3, rebuild, build with what remains. Saturn in Capricorn and Vata asks, what are you constructing with the energy you've reclaimed? If you cut something away but don't redirect that energy towards actual building, you're just creating a void, right? Number 4, commit for the long term. The supermoon roots wants you to work deeply, right? What you plant under this new moon has gravitational assistance, the astrological energies are supporting you, but Saturn demands you look after it, tend to it, not just for weeks but for months, for years. Only plant what you're willing to water through the winters, through the storms, through the hard times, right? So the invitation is surgical precision, right? This lunar cycle lasts just right up until the 31st of May, from the 16th of May, the time of the new moon, to the full blue moon, the double full moon month of May. So this is a very, very special month. This is a very, very powerful year, 2026. It's a 1-year numerology. Currently 2 and 2 and 6, right? Hold on, I'm gonna say it right. 2026, right? Yeah, 2 and 2 and 6 is 10, so it breaks down to 1. So it's a starting year, right? So it's a powerful setting the tone for the next cycles. And all of you have individual numerology cycles. So even though collectively it's a year 1, it may be year 9 or 8 or 7 or 6 for you. But anyway, on day 1 of the full moon, between day 1 and 3, so from the 16th to the 19th, write down everything consuming your time and energy. Circle only what serves your actual long-term goals, not what you wish served them, what actually does. Everything uncircled gets cut within 30 days, no exceptions. Day 4 to 7 is the building phase. For each thing you're cutting, identify where the energy is flowing, create a touchable, tangible plan with deadlines. Saturn doesn't accept I try. Saturn accepts schedules, right? So get real. I'm going to take this advice myself, day 4 to 7, right? I'm going to do it with you guys, right? So for each thing you're cutting, identify where the energy now flows, where you're going to, divert that energy to things that actually nurture you and your life, right? Because Saturn wants deadlines, right? It doesn't accept our try. It wants schedules, right? Day is 8 to 30, the rooting phase, so taking us right up into, the next new moon, which I believe is about the 15th of June. And I'm sure it's in Taurus as well, but the later degrees, the Ananartic degree, the 30th degree, so it's a very special energy, right? So the supermoon's gravitational pull lasts the entire cycle. Each day take one action towards what you're building, not inspiration or action. This is Capricorn and Vasa work, showing up when it's unglamorous, right? Doing the hard work. So this super new moon in Krittika Pardatu gives you Agni's blade and Saturn's discipline at the same time, simultaneously. Cut what drains you, build what sustains you and gives you energy. The razor doesn't hesitate, neither should you. So what you plant now roots 30% deeper than usual because of the supermoon energy, but only if you're willing to look after it over the days, the months, the years, when the excitement fades and all that left is the work. That's when you discover whether you wanted the harvest or just like the idea of planting, right? So now I'm going to talk about the aspects and the sabin degrees and the transiting aspect patterns that are influencing this new moon. And I'm going to go into the karmic layers, right? And then I'm going to, finish up with the integration. So if you're still listening, thanks for that, guys. And, if you don't already follow me wherever you listen to me, please do. And if you like my content, share with others who may like it as well. So in terms of the aspect analysis, we've got the moon making a conjunction to Mercury, which is applying, and the sun making a conjunction to Mercury, which is 2.43 separating, and the moon's energy is 2.43 applying, right? So these two aspects, the moon approaching Mercury whilst the sun moves away from it, create a specific mental emotional alignment at the time of this new moon. Mercury in Taurus thinks slowly and thoroughly. It considers, it takes its time to land on the world. But when it does, that word is the right one, so it may take its time to think and land on a word, a mindset, a decision. But when it makes the decision or chooses to speak the word, it's the right one. And the moon applying to Mercury says the feeling body is moving toward the mind. The emotional material of this new moon will find its language in the coming days, And the sun separating from Mercury means the core sense of self has already received the Mercury message. It's clarity about identity. It has arrived and now it's filtering freely and through it, right? So the practice is to write slowly, speak deliberately, don't rush to articulate feelings that are still forming. Mercury in Taurus promotes patience with position, right? So the moon is making a semi-sextile to Venus. So the semi-sextile is a gentle aspect, 30 degree of supportive opportunity. So Venus brings desire, initiation and the courage to want what you want. And the moon in Taurus applying to Venus means something in the realm of beauty, relationships, value, pleasure. Something Venus ruled is a approaching. The applying nature means it's coming towards you, so you don't have to force it, you don't have to strategize it. The Moon Venus conversation is let what arrives arrive, open the door, don't manage that outcome. So we've got the Moon and the Sun making a semi-square to Saturn, and this is 0.07 separating, and this is the most precise aspect of the transiting new moon chart. So the Saturn lesson itself arrived with this new moon, not before and not after. So what this brings is the quality of reality testing built directly into the seed of this new moon cycle. So whatever you begin at the time of this super new moon, as I said, brings with it full awareness of the cost and the restrictions, the constraints, the limits. And Saturn in Pisces, semi-square Taurus, means the spiritual dissolution, letting go, and the material commitment are in slight friction. And this is not a problem to solve, it's a productive tension to hold. The beginning is really precise because it's not free, and the question is, what are you willing to give up actually, and what are you willing to commit to, not in theory but in practice? And with your time, your energy, your sustained attention, that's what this new moon is asking. What are you prepared to let go of, and what are you prepared to build and put your attention to? So we've got the Moon and the Sun making a conjunction to Uranus at 5:30 in the plane. So it's building the revolution, the change energy, right? It's going to approach over the coming days, weeks and months. And Uranus in Taurus works to disrupt, right? Outdated relationships with security, money, values, how we view our body and the material world. And the new moon with Uranus in the stellium means whatever you're beginning now participates in that larger Uranian change revolution. You're not building an old version of security, you're building something that can hold the genuine you, the disrupted, awakened, no longer performing version. The medicine is, don't try to make the new beginning look like the old ones. Let it be strange, let it be unexpected, let it reflect who you're actually becoming, not who you were when you last began something, right? And the Moon and the Sun is making a trine to the midhaven applying, so both luminaries are trining the midhaven, and this is a significant gift. The Sun and the Moon, the luminaries, the feeling body and the conscious self are both in natural flowing alignment with your purpose and your career. And this trine applying means it's building towards its exact point in the coming hours and days. And what you begin tonight, or in the next few days, or the next few weeks even, how quickly you want to put things into practice. We've all got different temperaments and transiting planets happening to our natal charts and all of that, but this is giving a natural pathway towards public expression and bringing meaning into our career. And the trine doesn't demand effort, it offers flow. And the question is simply whether you're beginning the right thing. And Taurus and the midhaven together say, begin what is genuinely yours and it will find its own way towards meaning, right? So we've got a T-square between the ascendant in Scorpio, the North Node in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus at 14%, as I said in the introduction. So a T-square creates dynamic tension requiring a resolution, a decision, right? And the ascendant, how you are seen, how you present in the world in Scorpio, sits opposite Uranus and Taurus, with the North Node in Aquarius at the apex, the pressure point. And the ascendant in Scorpio wants depth, intensity, transformation and privacy, and Uranus in Taurus wants disrupted stability, authentic values and revolution in the material world. And the North Node in Aquarius wants collective service, innovation and individuality that serves the group. So the tension is, how do you honour your need for depth and transformation while also disrupting false stability and contributing to collective evolution. So all three are true. The T-square doesn't let you choose one at the expense of others. To integrate this energy, let your transformation be visible, which is the ascendant energy. Let your values shift, change. Let it serve something larger than your private process, the moon's north node. The revolution is personal and collective at the same time. So the 4-point stellium between the moon, sun, Mercury and Uranus in Taurus is 27%, right? So this is flaming, fits earth, fire energy. Well, not fire in the sense as it's, this is earth energy, but it's in the Nakshatra, which it says with Aries, right? So this stellium between the moon and the sun in Krittika, part 2, Mercury in Krittika, part 3, and Uranus in Krittika, part 4. So 4 planets, 4 consecutive pardas, quarters of the same Nakshatra. So Krittika's energy permeates the entire stellium, the purifying fire, the cutting away of what's not genuine, and the capacity to illuminate through the flame, right? To see through the flame, to build through the flame, to be at one with the flame. So as I said, Krittika is ruled by Anji, the fire god, not a destructive fire, but the sacred flame that purifies, that burns away what is not essential, so that what is essential can survive. And the entire stellium is asking the same Krittika question: what needs to be cut away so that what is genuine and real can survive and grow? So part 2, where the moon and the sun is, the fire is refining, genuine value and beauty. And part 3, Mercury has thought and communication that's refined into precision. And part 4, where Uranus is, has the revolution being held by emotional intelligence, disruption in the service of genuine nourishment, nurturing, relaxing, restoration, re-energizing. So the teaching is, Krittika cuts cords cleanly like a surgeon. Remember, what has been draining you, not through malice, but simply because it no longer serves you and because it no longer brings you joy, is ready to be cut now, right? To be let go of now. So, not through malice, but simply because it no longer genuinely serves you, it's ready to be cut now. Not dramatically, as I said, not unkindly. The way of Anji's flame works purposeful, clear, in service of something real, right? So in terms of the Sabian symbols that are affecting us right now at the time of this super new moon in Taurus, right? We've got the sun and the moon both in the 2nd degree of Taurus, so that's the electrical storm symbology. We have Mercury at the 5th degree of Taurus, which is a widow at an open grave, and then Uranus at the 7th degree, which is a woman of Samaria, comes to draw water from the well, right? So, and we've got Saturn at the 17th degree of Pisces, which has the Sabian symbology at Easter promenade, right? So an electrical storm where the moon and the sun has like a gloriously contradictory sort of like energy, right? Taurus is earth, grounded, stable and slow. An electrical storm is sudden, electric and uncontrollable. The sky splits, the air changes, everything changes in an instant. This is Uranus in Taurus, stellium speaking through the Sabian symbol. The storm isn't happening to you, it is you, your values, your worth, your sense of what's solid. They're being struck by lightning, not destroyed but illuminated, put in a spotlight. Your awareness has been opened, charged, made visible in a way that couldn't be under ordinary light and conditions, right? So in terms of the body wisdom, it rules the palate, which is the roof of your mouth, the hard and soft palates together. It's where taste lives, where sound resonates before it becomes speech. Notice what your mouth does during this, super new moon in Taurus. Are you clenching your jaw, grinding your teeth? The electrical storm in Taurus wants to discharge through the body, and let the sound out, hum, sing, yell into a pillow, scream in your car if you need to. The storm doesn't want to stay inside, right? It wants to come out. So the deeper layer is that, electrical storms don't announce themselves, they just arrive. The new moon in Taurus says something in your material, physical reality, your values, your sense of worth is about to be struck and brought to your attention. So you can't prepare for lightning. You can only be present when it arrives, the storm passes, and what illuminated is what remains, right? And then we've got Mercury, which has the Sabin symbology, the widow at an open grave. So this brings the theme of honest grief into the realm, the space of thought and communication. So the widow is alone at the graveside. She's not been abandoned, but because she's the one who remains, she's the one who must carry forward. The open grave is a metaphor, something real has ended, and Mercury in this degree says speak the ending, name what's finished, don't spiritualize it prematurely, don't make it mean something before you actually felt the weight of it and gone through the emotions, right? The widow stands there because that's the only honest thing to do. Standing at the graveside is the most ancient form, an act of acknowledgement, right? And it's about being open with our truths at this time, being open to communication, and being aware of what's being said and thought, right? And this rules the pharyngeal cavity in the back of the throat where your voice actually travels. This is the second body part in the vocal column. We had the palate and the pharynx, the vocal cords, and Mercury at this, but the Taurus rules the neck and the throat, right? But yeah, so Mercury at this degrees says what you need to say may feel like it's stuck in your throat, right? That you don't want to say it. That's not a sign to push through it though. It's a sign that the words aren't ready yet. Let them form slowly. Taurus in Mercury takes its time to land, to speak its mind, to find the right word. So at this time you should take some time out, right? And think about what needs to be named as being ended. What are you still calling by its old name even though it's already gone? The widow at the grave isn't performing grief, she's acknowledging reality. So that's what Mercury in this degree asks, right? Name what's actually true, mourn what's actually over. And the woman of Samara at the well, where Uranus and Taurus is, right, is one of the most specific relational instructions in this Sabin sequence, right? So the woman of Samara shouldn't be talking to this particular person because it's referring to a story of Jesus in the Bible and the Samaritan woman, and they had culture and religious barriers that shouldn't allow conversation. And if you think about the craziness in the world, this is very representative. We're all being diversive, thinking our beliefs are better, our religions are better, our ways of life are better. But the whole thing about finding a religion, finding a beliefs, is meant to be a metonia, a change of mind, a change from our ego way of thinking. Yes, we may not like what other people do or say, and of course we must stand up for injustices, but we must realise that other people may have different beliefs from us, but we're all humans and we all have a connection in that sense. And we must overcome these barriers to try and unite, sort of thing, right? So the conversation that happens at the well is the one that couldn't logically happen. Wrong context, wrong person, wrong time. But it's the conversation that matters the most. And Uranus in this degree says be open to an exchange, a conversation, a discussion that shouldn't be happening. The connection you didn't plan for with the person from the wrong context at the wrong time, that conversation might be the one that changes everything. Don't manage every encounter back to the expected, leave some doors open, get outside of your comfort zone. Obviously, don't ignore red flags, but be open to different viewpoints, not judging books by their covers, but by judging people on their own individual actions, not by their religion, culture, skin tones, anything like that, but on who they are and what they show you, right? So this rules the vocal cords, and Mercury ruled the planets, and the sun and the moon were in the soft palette, right? So this is completing the trilogy of the vocal cord column, palette, planets, vocal cords, all voice related. And this new moon wants you to speak, but Uranus here adds speak the unexpected, say the thing you weren't supposed to say, have the conversation you weren't supposed to have, have the conversation, be open, see past someone's surface, right? Don't ignore the red flags, of course, but be open. And the Samaritan's woman's conversation at the well changed her entire community, not because she followed the rules, but because she didn't. So the teaching here is Uranus revolutionized by breaking the expected pattern. Who are you not talking to because they're in the wrong category? What conversations are you avoiding because it doesn't fit your image of how things should unfold? The well is where people meet to draw what they need. Go to the well, have the conversation, let it be unexpected. We've got Saturn at the 17th degrees of Pisces, which has the Easter promenade as the sabin symbol. So this speaks to, celebration, discipline, to have joy, and the reality to resurrection imagery, right? So an Easter promenade is a public, communal, visible, people walking together after the solemn period, the serious time has passed. It's the emergence back into ordinary life after transformation, after, Christians do Lent, Muslims do Ramadan during, the months of typically March to April. And so now is the time of the transformation, not a grand proclamation. Just here we are again, walking together, life continues. Saturn in Pisces at this degree says the spiritual work and the ordinary life are not separate. You don't transcend the material world, you sanctify, make it sacred by showing up. The promenade is how resurrection becomes real, by walking visible in community, in your actual body, in ordinary daylight. And the body wisdom is the circular ligaments of the foot, right? This is where this Pisces rules the feet, right? And these are the ligaments that stabilize the ankle and allow you to walk without collapsing. So Saturn in Pisces at this degree says spiritual work must have, structural, practical integrity. It must hold weight. It must allow you to actually walk forward, not just float in a concept and bypass and forget the material reality. So to integrate this energy, the semi-square 45 degree friction between Saturn and the new moon, right, says the beginning, and you making right now, what you start right now, must be structurally sound. It must survive contact with ordinary reality. And the Easter promenade, right, isn't a miracle. The Easter path isn't a miracle. It's the commitment to keep walking after the transformation, after the festivities, to show up, to be visible, to participate in ordinary communal life, even after you have been changed by something extraordinary, right? So to integrate this energy, the complete map, these four symbols together create a complete instruction set for the super new moon, right? So first, let the storm illuminate, open up your mind. The moon and the sun at an electrical storm says your values, your worth, your material reality are being struck by lightning now, not destroyed but illuminated, made visible. You can't control lightning, you can only be present when it arrives, right? So let yourself be struck, let what's revealed stay revealed. Secondly, name what's ended. Mercury at a window, at an open grave says speak the ending honestly. No spiritual bypassing, no using spirituality to avoid reality, no premature meaning making, just this is over. Stand at the graveside, feel the weight. That's not failure, that's integrity. Thirdly, have the unexpected conversation. So Uranus at the woman of Samaria at the well says be open to exchange that shouldn't logically happen. Maybe from the person from the wrong context, the wrong religion, wrong nation, whatever, the conversation at the wrong time, that might be the one that matters the most. Don't manage everything back to the expected, saying this can only happen if it's within my comfort zone. Be open to the unexpected, leave space for disruption, for new, for out of your comfort zone. And the fourth is walk the walk, walk the path, walk the promenade, right? Saturn here says show up in your ordinary life with what you've learned. Make it structural, routine, make it visible, make it communal. And the transformation isn't real until it can hold the weight of your actual daily existence. Walk forward, be seen, participate, right? So notice what gets illuminated suddenly. The storm doesn't warn you, it just strikes. Name one thing that's actually ended, say it out loud and write it down. Have one conversation you weren't planning to have, wrong person, wrong time, do it anyway. Show up somewhere ordinary and let people see you have changed, Remember that the path, the promenade isn't private, it's communal, right? So now I'm just going to talk about, this special vocal column being illuminated by the sun and the moon, right, and Mercury and Uranus. So this isn't subtle. This new moon, with all 4 stellium planets in Taurus moving through these voice-related parts, says your voice is the primary instrument of this new moon, right? So the sun and the moon, where the palate is, where taste lives, where sound resonates, notice jaw clenching, as I said, teeth grinding. The storm wants to discharge, make sound, hum, sing, let something out. The planets, where Mercury is, the back of the throat, where voice travels, what feels stuck there, as I said, don't force it, let words form slowly. Mercury in Taurus takes the time to land, to choose the right words, and the vocal cords at the 7th degree of Taurus, the physical mechanism of speech. Uranus here says, speak the unexpected, use your actual voice for things you've kept in text, phone call instead of email, conversation instead of a message, the real-time voice over the managed one, and it's prominent in our time because a lot of people don't call, it's text or voice note, email, So, the circulate of ligaments of the foot, where Saturn in Pisces reminds us about foundation and stability. The spiritual work must be structurally sound enough to walk on. Gentle ankle rotations, foot rolling on the ball, conscious attention to your arches. Stability in the foot is the body's expression of Saturn grounding this new moon. Requires, right, to practically apply this energy. Write your new moon intentions in the present tense, not I will or I intend to, but I am, I begin. Taurus is the present tense, the now of having spoken, speak and write, from that sort of like space, go outside near 9:01 GMT or whatever time it is in the country you're experiencing this new moon. The supermoon is physically close, stand with your feet on the ground if the season allows. The Taurus supermoon and the earth beneath your feet are speaking the same language. Let your body feel what that conversation, directly, let your body feel that. Hum daily, sing in the car, make sound without words, gargle with salt water if your throat feels tight. Use your actual speaking voice for things you've been keeping in text form. The physical release creates space for energetic expression. As I said, pay attention to your feet, walk slowly, notice how your weight distributes, feel the ground. Take your shoes off when you can, stand on grass, on earth, on anything natural. Let your feet remember they're designed to hold you. Krittika energies asking you to, as I said, what needs to be cut away so that what is genuinely real can survive. Not what needs fixing, what needs cutting cleanly, purposefully in the service of what deserves to grow, which is typically the newness, right? So ultimately, this super new moon in Taurus with its 4 planet stellium, all in Krittika, Nakshatra with Uranus conjunct, the new moon, with Saturn semi-squared for reality, Uranus bringing the revolution of change, with the trine to the midhaven for our purpose, right? This full moon is asking you to do something that Taurus does better than any other sign. Let yourself be here. It's the first earth sign of the body, fully in your body, in your worth, in your material reality, without apology, without performance, without waiting for more favourable conditions. The electric storm doesn't wait for clear skies. The widow doesn't wait for grief to be convenient. The Samaritan woman doesn't wait for socially appropriate conversation. The Easter promenade, the Easter walk celebration, doesn't wait until everyone's ready. Your voice, your actual physical speaking voice, is the primary instrument of this, super new moon in Taurus. You know, use it, use your voice, the palate, the phalanx, the vocal cords, 3 consecutive degrees, 3 body parts, 1 message. Speak what's true, name what's ended, have the unexpected conversation, show up and be seen. The Krittika fire purifies by, burning away what's not genuine, let it work. What survives the flame is what deserves to grow. You're worth what you're worth, not what you've been told you're worth. It's all about your self-perception, forgiving yourself, healing yourself, being gentle with yourself. We all make mistakes, right? You deserve to be all that you can be, and the measure of that is not who society tells you to be, what you should look like, what you should do, but what you want, right? So it's not about proving your worth, it's about being who you actually are, and this supermoon lands in your body to deliver that message directly. You are enough. Feel it, believe it, build from it, and when the storm passes, which they always do, what is illuminated right now, what's brought to your attention, will remain, and walk the promenade, right? Walk the path, walk your highest path, accept yourself, be yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but be open to who you are and accepting yourself for who you are. So I'm Imani, your holistic karmic astrological life coach, and this has been my take on the super new moon in Taurus on May the 16th 2026. Take care, and look after yourself. I believe in you guys.